I accepted Jesus Christ into my heart at a young age, between fourth and fifth grade. Um, Never really followed his word so truthfully or down the right path. I always just said, I'm a Christian and I defend Christianity whenever it was being attacked by someone else. I had pretty much good knowledge about it, but like I said, I never really followed it truthfully. I was what other people would say the hypocritical Christian. During the sixth grade and through ninth grade, I started, instead of talking to people about my rough times or anything like that, or even praying to God, asking for help, I started looking onto myself, and looking onto myself, I started to self-harm. And then in the ninth grade, it hit me that I didn't want to self-harm anymore, because one of my friends asked me a question saying, what are you going to do when one day your child asks you, what are the scars on your arms from? Why are they there? And are you going to have to lie to them, or are you going to tell them the truth and bring that type of hurts into their life? And what are you going to do when they start having problems? Are you going to be worried about them? I didn't want that for my life, so I didn't want any more reminders on my arm either, to look down and see scars and be reminded of the tough times. So instead of hurting myself, I started smoking cigarettes, going to parties and drinking, and started smoking marijuana and getting really heavy into the party life around sophomore year. And so in the senior year, I got into some trouble over a couple of months. And so my parents took me away from Duluth for a little bit, and I had a girlfriend at the time that I thought I was in love with, but really I wasn't. I was just, I liked the idea of being in love. And so I took the time that I had from going outside, having cigarettes, and I just having nothing, not having a car, not having a phone, not having a job, and in my mind, just not having a girlfriend either, the only place I could turn was to God. And that's what I did. And I asked God, I said, God, if me and my girlfriend aren't supposed to be together, you know that in my heart I can't do the thing that you are asking me to. So if you could have her do it, have her break up with me, if it's for the best of, for the both of us, then do it. 2 days later, I go back to school and I find out that she's telling everyone that we're already broken up. And when most people would say, all right, God, you made your choice, I didn't. I was angry and I was upset at everyone and at everything, especially God. And I turned my back even more on him, even more than I have in the past. And instead of even thinking about religion, anytime that it was mentioned, I would subconsciously just go the other way, just walk a different way. I wouldn't hang out with my friends that would go to church. I wouldn't go to youth group anymore. I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to talk about it. And then I started to fail in school. And my parents, seeing that I was failing in school, really wanted me to succeed. And so they were talking to my aunt and uncle. And they were praying for me, even though I wasn't praying for myself. And God loving me, even though I wasn't loving him, being forgiving, being a loving God, he gave me a chance to turn my life around. And so when I came down here for spring break just to test it out, something inside me, and I don't really know what it was at the time, and I still don't, something inside me said, stay. Tell your parents that you want to stay. And so that's what I did. And staying here was probably the best thing that I've ever chose to do in my life so far. To turn my life around, to get away from the drugs, to get away from all that sin, was one of the greatest things that I could have done. It's really what made me want to do this testimony, to share that if I can go from completely turning my life around into being against God, into being against that way. Not outspokenly being against God, but being against God in the way that I lived, in the way that I was doing things, and turning that around within a short amount of time, and then coming back from that. I mean, it wasn't like I was just doing it for a couple days. I was away from God for a long time. And to finally come back to Him and to be embraced in His love and to embrace Him in my love is one of the greatest things that I've done. And I want to share it with everyone that I possibly can.